Same prize pool distribution as last year. So everyone who makes it to the top 8, where we are right now, will get 4%. NGC Leo, congratulations, that's where you're at. You get 4% currently, sitting at $321. Normally, we'd be used to seeing best of 5 games, just straight up. But for this year, we're doing a little bit differently. For the test tournament for this year, I decided to do sets and games instead of just games. And people seem to like it, so I decided to keep it for the real tournament. It'll be best of 3 sets, best of 3 games. Thank you. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Alright, both players are underway. Stacking nicely. And the first longbow comes for Leo. First longbow comes for NGC. Both players with 1 Tetris on the board. Number 2 for Leo. And number 2 for NGC Man. Both players going well so far. No early game mishaps. This is what we like to see. Tetris number 3 each. Both players doing nice adjustments to accommodate for the next piece. Awkward L piece for Leo. Level placements, but it gets a 4th Tetris. Same with NGC. And now has to take a few burns, which will allow NGC Man an early game advantage. As Tetris number 4 comes for NGC Man. I believe it's 4. I've lost count already. It's 4 or 5. Doesn't matter. NGC is 1 Tetris in the lead. Now 2 Tetrises in the lead. Leo's still needing to dig a bit. Could set up for a column 3. Does so. Get the long bar. Nice dirty Tetris. Meantime, NGC still stacking really well. Nearly at 40 lines. Left well tucked for Leo. Waiting on the bar. Bar does come. Excuse me, ads. Go away, please. This is why I like doing Max Out Club. So that there's 0 chance of that happening. Let's see if there's a way to get rid of it. No, there isn't. That's a ripperoni. Leo's getting quite high up. Has a interesting dependency going on. Tucks a J piece in. Take a nice single skim. Does so. Waiting on the long bar for column number 9. Awkward pieces. Looking for a T piece. A T piece does come. Long bar comes at a good time as well. 55 lines each. 260 for NGC. 200 flat for Leo. Maintaining around a 2.5 Tetris lead. Leo opens up the column number 9 and gets a Tetris back to a clean right well. Halfway mark for both players, 290 for NGC. We're looking at perhaps a high 500 transition. 230 for Leo. We'll have to work hard just to get the 500k. Definitely advantage NGC for game number 1. But we're in for a marathon. Remember, you have to win 3 sets of best of 3 games. Tetris for NGC. Almost at 400k at 80 lines, which is an indicator of a very good game. But forced to take a triple. Longbar does eventually come. 390 at 86 lines. Longbar comes for Leo. 89 lines, 350. The lead remaining at 2 Tetrises, an advantage for NGC. Best of 3 or best of 3, Rhubarb. Best of 5 or best of 3 is semi-finals. We're not quite there yet. This is the quarterfinals. Leo getting a little bit high up. Gets a nice L piece. And a long bar. Now it is NGC's turn being a little bit of a spot of bother. Double L dependent. Ooh, had to put the O piece. Even so, J piece did come at the right time. And again, J piece comes at the right time, but couldn't fit in the J dependency. Longbar comes a good time for NGC. No longer in dangerous territory. But it has allowed Leo to take the lead for the first time this game. About a triple ahead. 2 triples. Another Tetris for Leo, nearing transition. Now Leo is a full Tetris ahead. The comeback that he needs. NGC's finally clean. Putting pieces to the left, long bar comes for both players. The Tetris. 1 Tetris to go for NGC. And takes a long bar for a Tetris. Transitions of 4-9-4. Leo, a little bit of a spot of bother. Don't want that kind of stack, especially near transition. 1 line to go. Takes a double. 5-0-4 transition. In not a good looking stack. Gets a good long bar. Tetris ready. Completely clean now. Both players are clean. Who could play post-transition better? And NGC hung L piece to the left. Not immediately fatal. Opens it up. Meanwhile, Leo takes a Tetris. 1 Tetris in the lead, and also slightly behind in lines. Spiral going on for Leo with those O pieces. Fast with the long bar left. Nice double. Waiting for an L piece. Oh, L piece comes, long bar comes. Does not fill the dependency. Now waiting for a L piece. Getting dangerous. That L piece was a bail. Ellie gets another L piece over as well. Clean once again. Takes a safety triple. Both are in the neck and score, with Leo having 1 Tetris advantage. Hung a long bar to the left, but another long bar does come to bail him out. Intense game so far from both players. Leo fills in the long bar dependency in left hand side. Tetris for NGC. Tetris for Leo. 1 Tetris in the lead and 4 lines behind. So 2 Tetrises difference in terms of pace. Tetris for NGC. Leo has to take a split double. So that's 1 Tetris gone in terms of lead. Tetris ready once again. Gets the L left. Gets a Tetris. 690 each. However, Leo is again 4 lines behind. So 1 Tetris in the lead once again in terms of pace. We're approaching the end game for game number 1. Tetris for Leo. 720 at 196 lines. Still 1 Tetris in the lead in terms of pace. Another Tetris for Leo. 750 into 26. Long bar dependency for NGC. Gets a quick tap. Takes a triple. Forced triple. Starting to run out of lines. Tetris for Leo. 790. Very high up for NGC. Waiting long bar finally comes. But he is just over 2 Tetris behind now. Leo can definitely finish this off, and unfortunately, that's it. Leo took the advantage into post-transition and kept it. Played a very good game, and he won before level 28 even comes. GG's, Leo, you take the first game, and you take the first leg. $900k. Pretty good. GG's. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Alright, Leo now only needs to take one more game to take the first set. And NGC will now need to win 2 games in a row. Tetris number 1 for Leo. Waiting on the long bar for NGC. Long bar refused to come. Horrible pieces already. Tetris does come, but immediately has to deal with an awkward stack. More S pieces coming for NGC. Just SP spam. This means that Leo's already 2 Tetrises in the lead. There we go, nice tuck on the O piece. Leo's setting up a column 9. Gets the right pieces and opts to bail out with a triple. Due to that digging, NGC has caught up a little bit. Takes a Tetris and has taken the lead. And is also 4 lines behind. Safety double the T piece from NGC. Z piece comes at the worst time possible, but a J piece does come to bail NGC out, followed by a long bar, followed by a Tetris. 40 lines from both players, 150 for NGC, 140 for Leo after 44 lines. So once again, NGC having the early game advantage, but we will see a repeat of game number 1, where Leo will take the advantage into post-transition and keep it. Ah yes, another ad. Thank you. Leo trying to figure out a way to deal with the ZS dependency. Gets 2 S's, gets 3 S's to fill in that nicely. Nice T piece. Leo now has a nice stack going on, takes a safe double. Waiting on long bar, takes a single skim, long bar comes. 2-4-3 after 74 lines. 3-12 for NGC after 72 lines. A nice solid lead of about 3.5 Tetrises for NGC. I like the adjustments that these 2 players are making. Very high play, high level plays, what you would expect from a top 8 matchup. Nearly 100,000 points in the lead for NGC. Both players' stacks still looking good. NGC a little bit high up. Forced to take a safety triple. Forced to close up the well. Long bar does open it up. Another long bar for a Tetris. Both players passing 100 lines. 385 for Leo. 438 for NGC. Just taking a Tetris to make it 460. Now 483. Early dash load for Leo, and that's the first real proper mistake we have seen this match. That's a tight adjustment for Leo, putting the Z piece all the way left in response to a long bar. Safety triple, long bar, Tetris, both players close to transition. No early top outs once again. Transition for Leo with a score of 489. NGC already at 550, can take one more Tetris. So it is Leo that now has to catch up for post-transition. 580 for NGC, that's his transition score. And he needs to win this game in order to force a decider for set number 1. Double long bar dependent for NGC. Quick taps an O piece to the left hand side. Long bar does come. Opens up the right hand side. Gets a perfect J piece. Gets a perfect long bar for a Tetris. Leo in the meantime. Beautiful stack. Long bar comes for a Tetris. 600k into 21. NGC waiting for a long bar. Level 20. Having to take a skim. 620 into level 21, so the lead has decreased to just one Tetris. Tetris ready for Leo, gets a perfect J piece. Long bar comes, Tetris. Leo's now in the lead, but is some lines ahead. Early dash slow for NGC, man. That's not what you want to see. So Leo is now creeping up. Tetris for Leo, 690. It's now safe to say that Leo has caught up. And not just caught up, has taken the lead. Another Tetris for Leo, 720. Early dash slow for NGC. Taps the long bar over to the right hand side. Looks legal. Fails a quick tap on the left hand side. 7 high, quick taps another long bar to the left. Death defying. Leo in the meantime, playing really well. Long bar comes. T-tuck. NGC is in verge of a top out, but gets a long bar for a Tetris. 720. Can still definitely catch up, but this stack is looking bothersome. And that's it. Leo, you have taken the first set. 2-0. GG's. NGC now needs to win 2 sets in a row. Is this going to be back-to-back 900k for Leo? It sure is. 919. Unfortunately, the long bar never comes, but it doesn't matter. Back-to-back 900k for Leo. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And both players are underway for set number 2. In set number 1, Leo has taken it 2-0 with 2 excellent games of 900k. How will NGC respond? He will have to win the 2 remaining sets. Otherwise, he will be eliminated from the tournament. And he will no longer be able to defend his championship title. No. Both players refused it. But they have the right to refuse it. there's nothing in the rules that says there must be some kind of grudge if you refuse it. You're well within your rights to not use it. Alright, back to the game. Both players are tied up to 21 lines of 95,000 points each. Leo having to take a few safety burns. Tetris does come. 2 Tetrises for NGC, meaning that he'll have a nice 1 Tetris lead. Leo stacking up very high on the left. Nice S piece quick tap. Nice adjustment for the L piece. Now waiting on the long bar. Long bar does come. Both players are now neck and neck. 35 lines. And you see the long bar dependency does get the long bar. Long bar comes at the worst time possible. Forces set one up to the left. Takes a triple with a J piece. Sets up long bar dependency again. Long bar is refusing to come, but does finally come. But that will result in burns. Leo's also burning. He also has a long bar dependency to left, but he gets his long bar. Sets up a skim, and he's now clean. The OP skims at the very bad time. Looks like both players are struggling a little bit this game. S piece comes at a bad time for Leo. Needs an L piece or a long bar. T piece comes at an awful time. Those pieces are absolutely awful. Leo needs an L piece or die. He gets the L piece immediately. Now needs an O piece to the right. And unfortunately, horrible pieces. NGC, you get a gift. You take the first leg. Nope, that's wrong. There you go. This is exactly what NGC needs. 3-2-1 Tetris. Each game matters a lot. An early top-up feels like a damn, I gave my opponent a huge advantage. Tennis feels like a big swing in every format. Well, you are literally swinging your racket every time, so... Truth. Alright, 2 Tetris for NGC. Leo just waiting on long bar. Left hand side locked up. Where's the J piece? Leo's already dangerously high up. Needs a J piece. Where's the J piece for Leo? Oh my god! And oh, both players top out! Oh my goodness me! Oh boy! What the actual frick was that? NGC, you get gifted again. You take the second set just like that. By virtue of taking 2 Tetrises, you take it. And suddenly the match is all square. Just like that. It is set number 3. We are down to a best of 3 match. 3-1 Tetris. It is it. Whoever wins 2 games will move on to the semi-finals. Set number 3 is coming to thee. Tetris number 1 for Leo. Good start. NGC is Tetris ready. Just waiting on long bar comes. That's number 1. Leo having to do a few delayed burns. Number 2 for NGC. Number 2 for Leo. NGC refusing a line spin. But it works out. Single skim. Number 3 for Leo. Just waiting for number 3 for NGC. And along there comes number 3 for NGC. Number 4 for NGC. And number 4 for Leo as well. Number 5 for NGC. Leo taking a few skins. Now is Tetris ready? Number 6 for NGC, number 5 for Leo. After 27 lines, it looks like NGC is 1 Tetris in the lead. Number 8 for NGC. And number 7 for Leo. Both players still stacking nicely. Number 8 for Leo, number 9 for NGC. I believe I miscounted actually, that cannot be number 9, that must be number 8 for NGC. That's number 9. But regardless, 40 lines, 208,000 points. That's a early game indication of a very good game. 45 lines, 193 for Leo. Just taking a Tetris, 216. Leo having to set up some delayed burns, forced to. This has allowed NGC to take an early game advantage. Waiting on Longbar, Longbar comes. 280 at 56 lines. Already in the lead by 2 Tetrises. Nearing the half-point transition for both players. NGC does go Tetris. 3-2-7. Strong game so far. If we keep on going like this, we can maybe look at a 650 transition. Meanwhile, for Leo, he can maybe get a high 500k transition if he carries on like this. Forced to take a triple. Well, not forced, he decides to take a triple. Those O pieces are not nice. Long bar, Tetris. Looks like NGC will have to slow down a little bit, having to take a few burns. Awkward J piece. Awkward S's. Takes triple. So it looks like NGC's pace has died down quite a bit. Still in the lead by 2 Tetrises. But could have had potential for quite a bit more than that. The good news, at least, for NGC is that Leo cannot catch up so far, as he is currently digging longbar dependent on column number 5, does get longbar. SPs comes at a poor time. More burning for Leo. Tetris for NGC. 411 at 94 lines. So 80,000 points in the lead. Now 100,000 points in the lead. That's close to 5 Tetrises. Exactly what NGC needs. If he can win this game, he'll be threatening match point. Longbar comes at a poor time for NGC. Decides to create a longbar dependency. Another longbar does come to bail him out. Leo meantime is clean, but the left hand side looking a little dodgy. Does put a longbar to the left, opens it up. Waiting on the longbar. High up. Takes a, nice adjustment on the J piece. 2 Tetrises, both players needing transition. NGC still enjoying a nice lead of about 70,000 points, and behind by 7 lines. So we can say that NGC still enjoying at least a 4 Tetris lead, that's for sure. 1 Tetris to go for Leo. Takes 2 singles and a Tetris for a 440 transition. NGC man 1 line to go in as well. Oh, Leo did not have full dash in the J piece. Leo's in terrible trouble. Needs an 8 high quick tap. Gets it. Whoa. But it's longbar dependent. O piece. Now needs an L piece. That'll do. O piece is now needed still. Cannot quick tap a T piece. NGC man. You don't need any post transition. You have taken game number 1 of set number 3. And you have match point. GG's. Alright, both players are ready. Kingsman, count them down. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Alright. Let's see what NGC can do. Can he close it out? Or will we have a decider to decide the match? Tetris number 2 for Leo. Waiting on the long bar for NGC. Bit of a drought. Hello? Not allowed to do that, ads. I see. There's nothing I can do with that. Let's focus on Leo then for the moment. A little bit of a spot of bother. Fails out with a T double. Another rat? This is why I prefer doing max out club. Both players still at it. Both players getting a little high up. With skim options available. NGC a little bit more data, but the long bar does come for a Tetris, so does Leo. Thank you, ads. Go away. Toxic with all these ads. Yeah. Both players at 39 lines. Leo with a 1 Tetris lead. Exactly what he needs in order to be able to force a decider if it carries on like this. NGC with a forced triple. Leo having to take some more burns. Nice skims. Forced. Nice adjustment for the LP stuck with. Still ahead by 1 Tetris after 52 lines. 218 compared to 188. Z-spin? Z-spin. Nice L-spin for Leo. Halfway point to transition for NGC. 235. Maybe think about getting a 500k transition if he becomes a little bit more efficient. Leo's still got 1 line to go before the halfway mark. Let's see if the Tetris comes. The Tetris will come. 290 at the halfway mark. Can think about getting a 580 if he carries on like this. Leo looking for... He's very dependent on the left now. Needs a T-piece. Completely T-piece dependent on the left. Or a long bar. Now waiting on the Z-piece for T-piece. They do come. NGC misses a Z-spin to the left. NGC's in terrible trouble. And that's it. Wow. It came all of a sudden. He has lost his advantage. Leo, you are good. An early top hat by NGC, man. It is 1-1. And we are at the decider. The decider of the match. Greatest breakfast of all time in my opinion. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Oh yeah, absolutely. The full English is absolutely the best breakfast. That I do agree with. There's no arguments about that. Alright, back in the game. This is a very important game for both players. It determines who will move on to the semi-finals and who will get booted out the tournament. Who will be the weakest link? First Tetris for NGC, and Leo has an interesting amalgamation going on this deck. Nice line spin. Sorts it out in a very proficient manner. Horse double, quite dependent. Gets a nice piece, that gets the S piece, spins it successfully. Takes a single, and Leo is now with a perfectly clean stack. Tetris for NGC. Having to do a few burns now for NGC man. Oh my, those OPs came at a poor time. Not fatal, but forced burns. Now it's Leo's turn to have a few forced burns, but a long bar does come for a Tetris. 150 for 40 lines for Leo. 111 for NGC man. So Leo is enjoying about a 1.5 Tetris lead into the final game. If Leo wins this, he will knock out the defending champion, and if NGC wins this, he will have a chance to defend it. Looking intensely at both boards to make sure no sudden mishaps happen. Leo a little bit high up, takes a forced triple, takes a double, takes a Tetris. Definitely a lower scoring game, perhaps the pressure is getting onto them. They know if they play aggressive, there's a chance they'll get screwed, and if they get screwed, they're out the tournament. Leo taking a forced triple due to his stack looking a bit bothersome. So this will allow NGC to catch up a bit, and he does so with a Tetris. They are both now no. Leo is still one Tetris in the lead as Leo takes a Tetris. Another Tetris for Leo, 300,000, 78 lines. $281 for NGC after 80 lines, so Leo with a 1 Tetris lead. 2 Tetris lead. NGC stack getting a bit troublesome. Didn't know what to do with the long bar. That's a very nice spin. Needs an O piece to the left. He gets the O piece. Wow, good RNG. Does not take the double. Interesting. Gets a perfect L piece. NGC. RNG smiles upon you. Bails out with a double. There was definitely a non-zero chance that pieces could have come and said, nope, you are out, sir. But the match continues. Leo has extended the lead to about 3 Tetrises in the meantime. Leo hangs an S piece, a Z piece to the left. Still puts something else in there. Might need to burn down a little bit. Puts a line bar in there. S piece, yep, that goes through. Long bar Tetris. Lead has decreased slightly to 2 Tetrises. Fairly reminiscent to the finals, where the finals were also for last year was decided with a decider. Who will move on? We're getting close to transition for both players. Leo with a awkward, some parity issues. NGC transition score of 480. Leo already passed that, but has parity issues in his stack. Transition score of 527. And now needs to clean up. Needs an L piece or a long bar. Gets it. J piece would help. Long bar in there. S piece helps. Z piece helps. And Leo's now clean. Oh, ads. This is not the time for you to appear. Leo takes a forced triple. Tetris for NGC at level 20. Both players are now separated by just a triple. Leo takes a Tetris. Long bar for NGC takes a Tetris into level 21. Both players now separated once again by a triple. Both players ready for a Tetris. Leo gets long bar. NGC man gets long bar. Separated once again by a triple. Both players in dig mode, but Leo cleans up. Gets a Tetris. Now, one Tetris in the lead, level 22. Single for Leo. Lomba comes, Tetris. Two Tetrises in the lead now. Awkward pieces for NGC, man. Nothing he can do. More awkward pieces. Needs a long bar. Where's the long bar for NGC, man? And oh no. There's nothing he can do. And he is out. Tops out with a score of 607,000 points. Leo, you may mulligan this. It's possible to max this game out. Maybe you can do that. Long bar? It's definitely possible to max this out. That's quite a few burns. Takes a single Tetris. Now needs, I think, 4 Tetrises now to max. Which is 16 lines. Bar. Leo has 3 burns. Actually, more than that. Uh, 913. Tetris. Yeah, Leo has to Tetris the next 2. Number, yep. Alrighty. Tetris ready. The bar comes. And Leo scores a max out. In the decider. Knocking a blow into NGC, knocking them out of the stadium. Reminder, both of you are guaranteed 4% of the prize pool. And this fight will determine who will guarantee double that on 8%. Looks like both of them are rearing to go, so let's get to the main panel. And here they... Oh, I've got a new window. And they're off. There we go. Let's just do a few things first. So lots of things you have to pay attention with in your restreaming. You need 3 screens just to be able to figure out what's going on. There we go. I managed to get what I wanted. Alright, let's take a look at the 2 players' games, how they are doing so far. Oeuf is of course on the right hand side, and Pkric, who's under a different name in Maxwell Club, but Pkric nonetheless on the left. Of course, Tetris after a bit of a drought. And Oeuf also in a bit of a drought going on right now. Nice stack. Has to block up the well with a double. And cannot use that long bar to score a Tetris, but another long bar does come for a Tetris. About 4 lines difference between them. And with a pretty equal score between them, assuming Oeuf's managed to score the next Tetris. The first Tetris is scored. Just trying to get Tetris ready, does so with the L piece. Now waiting on another long bar. Long bar does come, and they are both equal in score, separating by just push tab points between them. Another Tetris for both players. And after 40 lines, both of them are at 170,000 points apiece. Very equal. Just a matter of who will take a few more burns during this early game. Oeuf decided to take a bailout triple, and this will allow Pkric to have a bit of a lead going on, about 1.5 Tetrises as a result. Tetris for Pkric. Nice S piece to tuck that piece in. Does not get Tetris ready with the I piece on column number 9. Takes a single and takes the Tetris. Oeuf, Tetris ready. Waiting on the long bar. Goes for the exaggerated double well. Reinforcing the exaggerated double well, takes a double, and after 20 pieces of a draft, takes a Tetris. And they are both separated by 2/3 of a Tetris by that triple that Oeuf taken a bit earlier on in the game. Another Tetris for both players. And we have reached the halfway mark between these two players, with Pkric enjoying a nice 1.5 Tetris lead. I can't do that. And 80 lines have been reached for both players. 360 Pkric. Waiting on Oeuf to get the long bar. Long bar comes for a Tetris. Both of them at 70% Tetris rate. Very respectable. Nice S spin from Oeuf. Separation by now, just half a Tetris between them. Pkric waiting on a few pieces to become Tetris ready. Awkward Z piece decides not to become Tetris ready with those long bars, and that perhaps is a result of those burn sequences. Does give the long bar a good time to fit in a dependency. And Tetris for Oeuf taking the lead. 100 lines, 416 each. Missed double tuck from Oeuf to put on the left hand side. Tetris ready. Does get a long bar. But we'll now have to figure out how to deal with that. Does deal with it with a tucked or spun L piece. Still needs to burn 4 lines to get rid of a hole at column number 2. 450 each for both players, still separated by a mere half a Tetris. Oeuf stack looking a little bit bothersome, still low, but has to take some burns to deal with it. Long bar dependency on column number 5. These pieces has to put to the left hand side. No other placement, that S piece was awful. The size did not take a single to accommodate the J piece. And as a draft counter goes up, now Pkric once again is in the lead. As Oeuf now needs another long bar to open up the right hand side. Pkric transition score of 538. As Oeuf really needs to clean this up before transition. Failure to do so will result in a very high risk of topping out. Bailing out for a long bar to put in the center well. This is really bothersome, and unfortunately, just after transition with a score of 464, that is it. And Pkric takes game number 1. Alright, let's start the countdown. Hello Sharky. Thank you for the raid. You have just joined us on our second quarterfinal match between Pkric and Oeuf. This is game number 2 of set number 1. Hello SD. That's good to hear. And it looks like everything is fixed, so looks like that this game shall be official. Alright, both players are stacking well. Oeuf deciding not to set up a T-spin dependency, and is forced to. Nonetheless, T-piece does come, takes a nice T-spin double, and this means that Pkric, after 12 lines, is going perfect. However, it's like a series of mishaps, which means that perfect streak will no longer be going. Hello Kingsman, when did Oeuf look like Milo? I don't know. Just a reminder to all the players, this is CTDAS, the second real tournament. Hello Z3V, this is a second quarterfinal match, and this is a set and game based tournament. Best of 3 sets of best of 3 games, which only means that each game is rather important, to say the least. You do not want to early top out. That immediately gives your opponent either a severe advantage or a severe break in the case that you were 1-0 ahead. Now, right now, Pkric is 1-0 ahead for set number 1. He only needs to win 1 more game in order to take the first set. Oeuf will have to win 2 games in a row to take the first set. Back to the game, Pkric is trying to build a center well, does get one. Let's continue with the center well. 150,000 points after 40 lines. 175,000 points for Oeuf, which means that Oeuf is enjoying a nice 1 Tetris lead. And this stack is starting to become precarious for Pkric. Getting a little bit high up, and with a drought counter as well forming, Longbar comes, you could say, quite a poor time. Alternating LJ dependencies. Takes a nice double. Longbar does come at a good time this time to fill in a dependency at column number 10. Nice flick for T-piece. Now I just need to find a way to open up the center well at column number 6. Pkric still going for the center well, just doubling down on it. Only 171,000 points at the halfway mark. And Oeuf is at 291 at the halfway mark. Quite a significant lead indeed. Also behind in lines. Tetris does come for Oeuf, 100,000 point lead, which is about 4 Tetrises. Just when he needs, oh, those 3 Z pieces come. All the time, can take a double with an O piece to the right hand side. J piece comes at a good time. Needs another J piece long, but does come instead, which is fine. Forced to block up the well due to that O piece. Opens it up again with a double. Sets up a delayed burn, forced to burn again. Series of unfortunate pieces, but Pkric still going with a center welling. Lead has reduced a bit to just 2 Tetrises. Finally, well has been opened up. Big over the head. The DAS player head shake. Both players now equal in lines. Lead at 3 Tetrises in favour of Oeuf. And Pkric finally decides to go back to the traditional right well. Now it looks like it's Oeuf's turn to do a bit of digging. More head shaking. J-piece comes at a pretty bad time. And once again, quite similar to game number 1, Oeuf topped out due to being in the dig just before transition. And this time does clean it up with 10 lines to spare. Unfortunate pieces. Takes a single skim, and it looks like that both players might actually be having a post-transition competitive shootout, you could say. It's just a matter of who will play better, with Oeuf having a 1 Tetris lead. Nice L spin for Pkric. Nice Tetris transition score of 424, so quite a low score. A nice T spin, and Oeuf transition score of 450, also quite modest. But in this game, the only thing that matters is what is your score compared to your opponent. And in this case, Oeuf with a 1 Tetris lead takes 2 Tetrises at level 20, increasing to 3 Tetrises in the lead, while Pkric is still in dig mode. Safety triple from Oeuf, Tetris ready at level 20. Onward comes for a Tetris. 5-3-4 into 21. Pkric yet to score a Tetris. Onward dependency on the right hand side. Gets a long bar to fill in it. Still no Tetris is scored, and now Oeuf is 100,000 points in the lead. Early dassoed by Pkric. Not fatal, but needs a long bar. High up. Gets bailed out, but now needs O piece to the left. O piece is the only way, and hangs a long bar column number 3. And that, as I say, is that. And Oeuf also topped out level 22. But by virtue of playing better at level 18, takes the second game, and we are now 1-all in the first set. Both players are ready. Let's count them both down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And both players are underway. We can see both their games. This game is live, and oh my goodness me, what kind of awful piece sequence is that for a move? Probably one of the worst piece sequences you can start off with. And as a result, Pkric, by only scoring 4 lines, is already 1 Tetris in the lead. This is not what you want. This game decides who takes the first set. Tetris number 2 for Pkric. Sets up a delayed bits, but burns right out of it with a double. The J piece. Drought forming from Oeuf. Onward comes, but unfortunately could not utilize it for a Tetris. Another bar does come. His first Tetris after 20 lines. Nails a Z spin. And this means that Pkric already enjoying a 2.5 Tetris lead in the third game of the first set. Drought counter forming. A little bit high up, but has burn options, takes a triple. The L pieces. L piece singular. 30 piece drought now, and after 30 pieces, the long bar does come. Taking line difference into account, the lead is all but eliminated now. Oeuf refusing to put the bar at column number 9. But it works out, and Oeuf gets a Tetris. After just over 40 lines, 130 for Oeuf and 165 for Pkric. Another drought forming for Pkric, this time a little bit higher up. Takes a series of nice burns, 25 piece drought now. After 27 pieces, bar does come for Pkric. Tetris for Oeuf. Quite significantly behind in terms of lines now. And an interesting setup going on for Pkric. Won't be able to easily deal with that, but 2 doubles will introduce a column number 7 well. Onward comes for a Tetris, 70 lines, 240. You think about 450 transition, maybe a 500 transition. And Oeuf, in the meantime, halfway mark with 209. We'll have to work a bit harder to think about getting a 500 transition. More in line to get a 450, but we will see. Pkric deciding to center well once again. Same with game number 1. Let's see, yeah. 2 long bars come in a row for a column 3 Tetris. And looks like Oeuf is falling further behind in terms of lines. Now 15 lines behind, with 80,000 points behind in terms of raw score. So taking that into account, but there's other matters to attend to. And oh my, that long bar came in a very clutch moment indeed. There were not many pieces that could have saved Oeuf, but Longbar was one of them, and it came just in time to bail him out for a couple of Tetrises. Monka moment, you could say. Still about 15 lines behind, which means that he'll be able to, if Pkric tops out at if this game goes to 29, Oeuf will be able to see what score Pkric gets, and as such adjust the aggression as needed to be able to possibly chase it down. But once again, with game number 1 and 2, Oeuf in a bit of a day. Those 2 S set pieces are awful. Longbar comes at a good time though. Another Z piece comes at an awful time. These J piece on Longbar to put on the left hand side. L piece comes at an awful time. Dangerously high up, needs to execute a series of quick taps. That Z piece does come at a good time, however. That 2 O pieces. At least a T piece or a Z piece. T piece comes. Needs to dig out of this very quickly, as Pkric has already transitioned and is ahead. Takes a well-needed double, and Oeuf now desperately needs L piece. The L piece does come, and looks like Oeuf might be able to survive this. Fails a quick tap to the left, and that quick tap was essential. Oh dear me. And I'm not sure even L pieces can save him. No. That quick tap, that missed quick tap, costed him the game, and also costed him this set. Pkric, congratulations, you have taken the first set 2-1. This will be set number 2, game number 1. Oeuf, you now need to win the remaining 2 sets to win the match. You see that tick that Pkric has have on a little bit scuffed. I'll have to fix that for next time. If he gets one more of those ticks, he wins the match and moves on to the semi-finals. But anyway, both players are underway. It is a reset. Mental reset, or physical reset, or however you deal with it. Both players now need to win 2 games once again to win this second set. Alright, starting off the early game, Oeuf having to do a few safety burns, and a comfortable start for Pkric. Tetris ready, just waiting on the long bar comes. And so it does for Oeuf. 20 lines apiece. Difference already at 2 Tetrises in favour of Pkric. the L piece comes at a very favourable time for Pkric. There wasn't really much other solution available. But players have dealt with their respective situations, and they are now stacking cleanly and well. Pkric now needing a J piece, fills it in with a series of S and Zs. 2 J pieces come at an awful time, and Pkric in a dangerous situation. And Oeuf, just like that, that's what you call an early top out. Oeuf, you have taken the first game. Pkric, if you want to win the match, you have to win 2 games in a row. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And they are both underway. And Oeuf already having to do a few burns as a series of unfortunate pieces come. Tetris for Pkric, 2 Tetrises on the board, and Oeuf gets the first Tetris on the board, already behind by about 2/3 of a Tetris. This is the early game, anything can happen. Drought counter forming for Pkric after 19 pieces. Longbar does come. Oeuf with a series of nice moves with that J piece, but Z piece comes at an unfortunate time. Attempts to deal with it. Nice adjustment to create a longbar dependency to accommodate the longbar, and another adjustment to accommodate a J piece. Both players stacks clean. Pkric, drought forming. Left hand side a little bit bossy, but the T piece comes at the right time, and the longbar does come for a Tetris. Tetris for Oeuf, almost at the 40 line mark. Another drought forming for Pkric. Has to bail out with a awkward double with the T piece on the right hand side. Still perfectly solvable. 30 piece drought now. J piece comes at a good time, and after 36 pieces, Pkric survives a drought and gets a Tetris. Now Oeuf is on the drought. Both players a little bit drought heavy this game. 30 pieces, and the longbar does come. Nearing at the halfway mark for both players. Halfway mark for Pkric, 250. And Oeuf, 250 as well at the halfway mark. They are both neck and neck with each other. Tetris for Pkric has to deal with a little hole at column number 6. Opens it up nicely. And is clean once again. Oeuf, for the first time this match, is going for a centre well at the guideline well. It isn't really working out with the drought counter forming. But longbar does come after 24 pieces. Both players at similar Tetris rates, at just under 60%. Tetris for Pkric, 350 after 93 lines. 10 lines behind is Oeuf, who may be 50,000 points in terms of raw score, but being 10 lines behind means that in terms of pace, they are both pretty equal with each other. This could also be down to who will play post-transition better. We have yet to see a game go past level 22. This match so far has been a battle of who plays 18 better. Could this be the game that is a battle of post-transition? We will see. Remember, Oeuf is already one game up in the second set. He only needs to win one more game in order to tie up the match to make it one set all. If Pkric, on the other hand, wins this game, he will threaten match point. Nearing at transition mark, Pkric in dig mode. Not what you want to see. Opens up a long bar dependency at column number 10. Longbar does come and he will transition with 506. Oeuf still can get 2 more Tetrises. One Tetris does come. 514 already. Can still score 1 more Tetris. Or maybe decides to do a series of safety burns, and unfortunately Pkric, left hand side now becoming accessible once again thanks to that double burn. I thought it was fatal, it wasn't. Pkric just about surviving. Good survival on his part. And Oeuf in the meantime, 592 at level 20. Quite significantly in the lead. And is 10 lines behind, so Pkric will have to either hope that Oeuf tops out early or just outscores him. But Oeuf is on the roll right now. Another Tetris at level 21. Waiting on an L piece, bails out with a J piece instead, creating a little hole. Oeuf is a little bit high up. These could do with an O piece. Can access the left with a quick tap. Now is full DAS accessible. With the J piece, takes a triple out of it. Still not Tetris ready, but takes another triple into level 23. Is Tetris ready at row number 2? Longbar comes for a dirty Tetris. For Oeuf, 700,000 points. Is still ahead in terms of pace, so Pkric still has to slam down some Tetrises. Level 25 now, score of 718. Oeuf still a full level behind and is already almost matching that score, just separated by a few triples. Pkric a little bit higher up, Tetris ready now. Gets a bar, gets a Tetris, exactly what he needs, and Oeuf now in the spot of bother. Needs to find a way to dig out of this. Okay, interesting solve with 2 long bars. Is now behind in terms of score, and it looks like in terms of pace they're both now equal with each other, but a long bar does come to bail Oeuf out. Looks like Pkric's managed to finding his groove for this game. So Oeuf is now desperately trying to survive this. Doing it quite well, I have to say, but it's not scoring any points as Pkric scores another Tetris into level 28. Now we're at the point where Pkric pretty much has to top out without scoring any Tetrises in order for Oeuf to have a chance to win this game. And I believe this is now a kill screen Tetris required for Oeuf. And I think even with a kill screen Tetris, it is not enough. unfortunate. However, Pkric, congratulations, you have played well in this post-transition. You have taken the game, and we shall count them down. These are the stakes. Let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Yes, Scamper 9 is the host. It is me, the host organizer of CTDAS, the second real tournament. Thank you very much to CTM, to vandweller, especially, for allowing me to host my tournament, my quarterfinal matches and beyond in the CTM main channel for all you lovely folk to see. Alright, after 16 lines, both players are tied, 17 lines, separated by just pushdown points in favour of, I believe it's Oeuf that is pushing down a little bit. Thank you. It's probably because it's nearing 1 o'clock in my end. I have to try and be as calm as possible, as they say. Not to raise my voice too much too excessively. Focus my attention on providing the fact. And here are the facts. After 40 lines, Pkric 170,000 points. Decent game. Oeuf just waiting to build up. It's now Tetris ready. Just waiting on another bar. Has to take a double, and after 40 lines is at 150, which means that Pkric is enjoying 1 Tetris lead, which is exactly what he needs in order to threaten to win the match. However, what is threatening to force the match to continue is this stack going on right now by Pkric. Series of nice burns, takes a safety triple, and the long bar does come. Surviving a little bit of a predicament, spot of bother as you will, but deals with it with proficiency, and the game continues. Nearing the halfway mark for both players, 65 lines for Pkric, 233. Maybe look for a 450 transition. Also at the halfway mark is Oeuf, 250. Can look for a 500k transition if they carry on like this. Oeuf, Tetris ready. Has to put the T piece to the left. And it's now in a real spot of bother. Take a series of nice burns. He must survive this, remember, in order to threaten for the match to continue. He didn't put the long bar left. He did not put the long bar left to take a single. That is an early top out, which means that Pkric GG's by winning 2 games in a row. You have taken the 3rd game of the 2nd set, which means that you get the scuffed 2nd pick. There you go. You have won the match, and you will move on to the semi-finals.
Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.